Morning. This is Dr. McDaniel at GNY Corner. Welcome. It's Tuesday, July 23rd, and as the title, trying to get this a little bit better, as the title indicated, I'll be speaking about fish today, and I'm speaking on fish. Okay, that's a little bit better. I hope it's not too dark in here. It's kind of overcast today, so it's pretty dark in here. I'm speaking about fish because a few years back, I think most people were aware of the warnings about consuming too much fish because of the higher mercury contents than we had previously discovered. So mercury poisoning was an issue, and especially with pregnancy, there were a lot of dire warnings and concerns made about not consuming fish because of mercury and potential brain damage. In the last few years, however, there's been more clarity on the consumption of fish and other seafood, shellfish and the like. So around January, early January, the FDA produced a publication with information about fish intake and the levels of fish that are healthy to eat or consume on a weekly basis. And they came out with a chart or a reference guide to guide people, but of course I'm a gynecologist, everyone's a woman for me, to guide women, pregnant or no, about the levels of mercury consumption with respect to the amount of fish that's recommended for everyone to eat. So that came out in January, and then another report, a revised chart, a reference guide for the fish consumption came out just earlier this month. So I thought I'd speak about that because I'm a gynecologist. I don't do deliveries anymore, but I do see pregnant women first trimester. That's still considered GYN. So I get a lot of questions on diet and exercise. So I thought I'd speak on diet today. So I think most people are aware that seafood is in general good for you, be it fish or be it shellfish. Doesn't matter because of the increased levels of minerals and vitamins that we obtain from fish that we really can't obtain from other sources. It's a healthy source of protein, and of course protein is the building blocks for all of our bodily function and development, and it's also a very good source of healthy fats, so animal fats and healthy fats, so the DHA and the EPA, or the eicosanoic acid, and the omega-3 fatty acids. So the DHA is the docosahexaenoic acid, and the EPA is the eicosapentaenoic acid, are healthy sources of omega-3s or fatty acids, which are important for brain development and neurologic development. Especially if someone's pregnant, it's important for the developing fetus or child for brain and neurologic development to maximize it as much as possible. So of course 100 plus years ago, everyone didn't know about any potential restrictions, and I'm sure there weren't issues with mercury levels of the fish 100 or 200 years ago. So even though women did not take supplements, they had, if they lived near shores, and most cities and villages were set up near waterways or gateways because of trade and industry, they had access to fresh fish and shellfish, so clams and crabs and the such, crawfish and lobster and such. So they were able to get all of the selenium and zinc and omega-3 fatty acids. They were able to get all of that on a regular basis. Now that industry and modernization has occurred, and most of us don't catch or hunt or grow our own food, we're relying on grocery stores, and we're relying on information as to which foods are now safe versus not safe, and we're relying on supplements. There have been a number of studies in the last 3 to 4 years, which have indicated strongly so that supplementation for omega-3 fatty acids or fish oils is not as good as the actual food source for the fish oils. So the intake of fish is actually more important than we anticipated it would be, because it looks like the recommended supplementation for fish oil and for omega-3 fatty acids, and fish is also a good source of vitamin B12 and vitamin D, which we normally can only get through sun exposure. It looks like we have to take a lot more supplementation than the recommendations have been indicating in order to reach the levels that are ideal for our bodily function and for our health. Sorry. So, in January, there was a reference chart that came out, and it was revised in July. And also in January, the advantages of fish intake were really strongly supported with new research that came out in the last year or so. So it has been strongly supportive of the fact that fish helps decrease heart disease, so coronary artery disease, vascular disease, ischemic disease, strokes, and heart attacks are decreased with the regular intake of fish because of the fish oil, the fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids. They help, looks like they help to decrease inflammation, which is the primary source or origin of ischemic heart disease. They decrease inflammatory changes and decrease the body's, or I should say improve the body's response to those inflammatory changes. It also looks like because of the help with the coronary artery disease, it also decreases hypertension, which is often due to hardening of the arteries, and obesity, which often contributes to hypertension. So healthy fats, healthy proteins, as would be anticipated, help improve our overall health and decrease the diseases of modern medicine, which of course are hypertension, obesity, and diabetes, and heart disease, strokes, and also decrease what we perceive as chronic illnesses of aging. So in general, what seemed really obvious about 200 years ago is now being supported with the research that fish and shellfish, obviously if someone's not allergic, is good for our overall health. Now the recommendations that came out in January and July did give some stipulations, and I'm going to stop now. I'm trying to keep these short and sweet. So I'm going to stop now on that, and I will speak about the stipulations and more specific recommendations that were placed in January and then updated earlier this month by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and by the Environmental Protection Agency. So this is Dr. McDaniel at GNY Corner. Please check out the YouTube channel that's also called GNY Corner, and you can check out our website. It's midtowngyn.com. If you're in the area, please come on by. Appointments are Monday through Friday, and we have walk-in hours every day that we're open for limited hours. You don't need to have an appointment for urgent issues. If you have comments, please place comments or questions, and if you have ideas or topics for future presentations that you'd like addressed, please let me know. And for the YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, and comment also. Thank you, Deborah John, for watching this morning. Good morning to you too, and everyone have a great rest of the Tuesday. I keep looking out the window because it's been raining off and on all morning. We had a storm last night, so not perfect summer weather like we had last week, but we'll take what we can get. Thanks again, and I'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday. That's Happy Hump Day tomorrow, to continue the talk on fish and the recent recommendations. Thanks. Have a great rest of the day.